Welcome back, music fans. This is West Coast Paul. I am on site in San Diego, California. You are listening to Stylin' Radio, and this is Pure Adrenaline. Back with my co-host in Midwest, in the frozen but warming up Midwest, Izzy. What's up, Izzy?
Yeah, man, we're having a heat wave in here today. It's like, it's almost above freezing.
Yeah, I love that heat waves. It kind of led me into a couple of things. Reminded me, this time of year of Germany. You had mentioned last segment about, German events and things, and I got to thinking about Germany. I traveled there 2.5 weeks years back, and there were segments of that place that was cold, and places it's cool. The one thing I did notice when we were there, the rock music in pop rock. I thought German would be, not known, fairly metal, and then I got to thinking, there was bands out of there like Scorpions, and going, damn, and we were there listening to some stuff, had a great time, and I'm going, Scorpions. I don't know about you, they've been a band for me forever. Heck, they've been around longer than I've been alive, and most people probably. What do you think about them, Izzy?
Well, I mean, they're getting a lot of the younger fans that want to listen to them, and we do play their music over here, so it's interesting. It's like they're going to retire, but then they keep pulling them back, It's like, hey,
Yeah, I mean, they say that they want to get it to fans, and it's true. I know that their tour's coming up again. I thought they were retiring, and yet they announced the tour starting in March. They're going to be doing in like Mexico, South America. But this tour, the next 2 years, it's got 14 countries and 27 different concerts. And you know what? They're out trying to spread what the Scorpions is about, and what it is. This is their 60th anniversary tour. They've been around that long. They've had 10, I can't remember, 10, 12, 13 band members. But the thing that I know I always do it is their lead singer. He's been there since '78, and he's the one I think everybody kind of, when you think of the Scorpions, because of their the voice, and they do it, but they have forever now been one of the best rock bands in the history of the world. I cannot imagine playing music for 60 years, being on the road and doing things.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you've been on tour and you've done some things with stuff. Imagine doing it for 60 years.
Well, I'm not that old, but I mean, I've been doing touring stuff, and every year it's like, what are we going to do this year? We're still waiting for Stylin' to release what all we're doing this year. I mean, I know some of what we're doing, but there's tour stops that we're going to be doing, and they're talking about this radio tour this fall. Now, we're not guaranteeing it right now, guys. This is the first you guys are hearing of it, but there is some major cities that some of us from the different shows will be making appearances at that is not car related. So I think it's more of like a sports bar tour, you know. So come out and meet us and hang out with us, and that's something like they're working on putting it together. And then of course always we'll be bouncing around SEMA, and of course as always we have that huge after party at PRI so in Indianapolis in December. So yeah, I mean, we got Slammin' and Jammin' this year, Stylin' at the Lake, and then there's going to be set events for Stylin' After Dark, and then there is some, we're going to be at Outlaw Armageddon, and you were talking about earlier, people coming on the show. I did text Mark, and we need to get Mark from Outlaw Armageddon on here, and because they've moved the World Series of No Prep back to August. I believe it's the first week of August, and Stylin' will be out there. We are the #1 radio for Outlaw Armageddon, and then we've got other events. I can't really say if we're going to be there or not, but if we're not there, then Stylin' Magazine, of course, will be there. Like Texas Heat Wave and Scraping the Coast, and you know, drag week, we'll be at drag week events and stuff. So, I mean, right now we're in the winter and they're still kind of booking up and not telling us what we're doing. But, you know, I look at over the years of touring and this, and there's so many good memories. There's so many good, there's shit that's happened that nobody would believe. And when we tell them, they're just like, yeah, right. And I'm just like, no, it really fucking happened, and, I don't regret any of it. I encourage, let's go do more. But now that I'm getting older, it's like being on the road for like 20 weeks kind of sucks, and I can see these bands, they're limiting, and even comedians are limiting how many events and stuff that they're doing. But we always, when we're at the show and we get done, we always have a smile on our face, like, yeah, that fuck, I can't wait for the next one. And then, the next night you're somewhere else, and it's like,
and people don't know how much work there is to put in to a show, and it is exhilarating when it's over, because you realize how many people that you made happy, and you created something positive for them, and a lot of stuff. But even when the show's over, there's a shitload of work to be done, and to take down, to do whatever, so you can move on to the next one and start back up. It's like the PRI events. People think that the 6 hours or whatever that the show runs, 6 or 7 when you start, there's 6 hours beforehand that we're there trying to get everything ready, and that's not prepping from the home base getting there. That's just trying to get set up. I guess probably 3 or 4, and then there's 3 or 4 afterwards.
Yeah, because we got to do mic check. The DJs are coming in. Of course, we got to decorate. The last couple of years, I mean, we missed Tiki Bob's so bad, but we moved across the street, and that venue works out pretty good for us. And, of course, we're going to throw down a show as always and do what we do, because that's what we do, So,
and yeah, now with Styling Motorsports being the driving force behind what
the flag, Styling's the flagship now.
Yeah, it's going to be so. I say we've got better resources, things, organized. I mean, beforehand, we did our things and we did a great job. But now I can't imagine the next time or two that we put these together with like I said, all the resources available. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if people not affiliated with PRI show up just to do the show.
Oh yeah, and that's happened quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot. I mean, hell, we had Wee Man at our event. That wasn't even scheduled. He just showed up because he knew it was a badass party. I mean, the one year, that's the same year that next door they had the Jersey Shore reunion and MTV was filming, and literally they're like, what the hell's going on next door? They shut down and come over to our party.
Yeah, they enjoyed the shit that we were doing and put on because it was so much fun.
Yeah, I think it's funny when I saw that episode and they were using footage from our party saying it was theirs.
Yeah. Now the one thing I will say is it's not on the parties Tuesdays or Thursday night, but I'm under suspicion that we're going to have a pure adrenaline show from that party when it's there.
Oh yeah,
so,
I mean
that night.
It'll
be an extra.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things that we're doing this year. Excuse me, with our live events that we are live broadcasting, and it's going to be a cluster. We've got a lot of people, like because you mentioned like Sick Week and the Pro Mod Nationals and stuff going on right now. We've been asked to go. They want us to come, but we have our remote trailer and it's being redone right now because this was the best time to do it, was in the winter, so we could update what we were doing and putting in new monitors and putting in new microphones. And over at the Styling Garage, we're getting that trailer all set up to go out and do remote broadcast. Well, unfortunately, we never thought that Sick Week would ask us to come down and do a broadcast. We didn't think that, but more and more people listen, and, because we are the number one automotive driven radio station in the world.
Yeah, they want to be part of us, and they want us to be part of them. And that is so nice, so special. It just, you can't get more, I don't know, a much more warm feeling than when people want to be part of what you do, when you do it and do it right. And that's what's made us so good. We weren't expecting this,
no,
this fast.
Here's the thing. I own other radio stations. This was something more, to be honest, this was something more we were going to play in the showroom.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about it for 2 years before this happened. What do we want to do?
But there was a genre of music that there was a hole in the industry, and when we went to Radio Garden, which radiogarden.com has got every real radio station across the world on their global map. And I sat there one day playing with it. There was nobody playing anything like what is we call our showroom lobby music, right? So we have the technology, and we put the station together, and yeah, the station is 1 year old now. We are right at, just over a year old. We celebrated on New Year's. Paul, you brought out that huge glass box, and we looked like guinea pigs, and we did our broadcast at the New Year's party. But the big thing for us is we look at the numbers, and we look at the guests and the, people that, and we get a lot of requests from people. It's like, hey, I want to get on the radio show. And it's like, damn, it's like, how'd you hear about it? There's so many choices to listen to music, but God bless you guys. You guys come over and listen to us, and we're free. That's the thing. We don't even charge. And even if companies are charging, they don't play anything like us. You never know what we're going to play. And that was the other thing, is like, since we play such a vast, different music, we always wanted, an alternative rock show, and kind of break it up. And, we were like, well, with the extreme sports and with this and this, and, we're about extreme sports, and we're like, well, we started doing it on Wednesdays, and it was 1 day a week, but we were getting listeners like, man, it'd be great if you do it 2 days a week. And we're like, okay, screw it. We'll give you Tuesday and Thursday nights. And then, as things progressed, all of us at the office was like, damn, now we got to, well, I was already doing the morning show, and that was successful beyond what we ever dreamed.
Yeah, that was fun.
And so we went on vacation, and then we got back from vacation, and we were set to go back on the air, and that's when we had that meeting, and we come up with the idea, let's kind of break this up and everybody get their own show.
Yeah. Offered this one, the to me the funnest one, but hey, my opinion, to the old guy.
And you wanted this show. Leslie everybody had the option of going back on the morning show, or you can get your own show, and it didn't take long, and everybody's like, and Leslie's like, well, what the hell am I going to talk about? And I'm like, well, it's Kicking It with Leslie. Talk about whatever, And that show is successful. Pure Adrenaline is a new show, and the numbers really look good.
Yeah, and it helps me with the other stuff I do around styling, running the place, and this is so much fun, Izzy. I really appreciate it.
Well, and the other thing is, like, me and Jimmy were set to go back on the morning show, because he was brought in to work with me on the morning show, along with some other cast members that are on standby right now. And we had, we put somebody in on the afternoons, and we were training that person, and we still don't know what happened to her. She just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah, it's bizarre. We know she's there, or she's still, around doing her thing, but yeah, she it's like a ghost. And,
well, she's in a relationship that, her boyfriend wants all the attention, and he wanted to be on the radio, and we really didn't know him, and it was kind of a weird deal. So then me and Jimmy just started doing the afternoon show. So
it's been popular. You guys have done great.
Yeah, I mean, we still got a hole. We're waiting to go back to see. In about 6 months, we're gonna come back with a morning show. But right now we're on the afternoons, and we're loving it on the afternoons, so. But yeah, on that note, guys, we're getting right back into music. This is Pure Adrenaline on Stylin' Radio.
West Coast Paul out.